I thought it was, first of all, a terrific crowd today in the Irwin Center. Really, really appreciate the fans that came out. Thought it was a great atmosphere, one that we haven't had like that in quite some time. So it was fun to coach in. I'm sure the players enjoyed playing in it. I thought our team did some things today a lot better than we have been doing in the last few games. In particular, cutting our turnovers down. We gave ourselves a chance to score today, and we were much more efficient offensively. The difference in the game really boiled down to just some possessions that I thought they gathered some offensive rebounds, got on the foul line a few times where it was critical. I mean, it was the game, and then we just didn't execute a few things down the stretch. But again, I thought our team adjusted really well today. I thought we worked on some things really that we haven't worked on a whole lot this year, and they implemented it and followed the game plan. I thought they paid attention when we went to the press to the things that we were trying to adjust to. So really pleased with some things today. Obviously, there's no moral victories in this game at all, but I'm pleased with the way that we played the game today. And I think if we can build on this, then we can get back on track.
Brady, how much does this one hurt?
I'd say this one hurts pretty bad because I know how hard we worked preparing for this game and how hard we worked to stay in it and even took the lead at times. So it definitely hurts, and I definitely feel like that last possession was on me for sure.
Why is that?
I missed Ariel coming off the screen, and I should have tried to definitely get it to her, but shouldn't have had that mistake.
Coach, what did you call 5 seconds left in the timeout? It was the final play.
We said it was a play that I felt like we were comfortable running, first of all, because we do have some young players that they're in situations where maybe they haven't been in, and I knew that we could execute that play. It was just a double for Ariel to come off of it, and in particular, really the next step of the play was, I mean, I didn't think she would come off of it and be wide open, but I did think that we could get to the next portion of the play, which would have been an on-ball with Kelsey coming out and setting one for Ariel, which would have gotten them in a two-man game. The way Kelsey was playing, I felt like we could make a play. No. We were just trying to score. We were trying to even the game.
So was it ultimately trying to get Kelsey a two-man?
It was in a two-man game. I was trying to get Ariel and Kelsey in a two-man game and get Ariel going left back to the middle of the floor. And I thought that they would be worried about Kelsey, and maybe it would open something up because obviously Kelsey was very effective today. Yes, ma'am.
Coach Ronke described Kelsey as the most improved player she's seen in this conference. Could you comment on the degree of improvement you've seen in her last year?
Well, I think that Kelsey's had a typical sophomore year when a player didn't have extended minutes as a freshman. We've seen some ups and downs, but I think as far as where she is now compared to last year, it's light years, and this was a terrific performance by her. And I'm going to say this because it's not about the points to me and the rebounds. That's a given. If you see a double-double, then you know a post player's done something. But to me today was the fact that Kelsey had a presence. She wanted the ball. She was demanding the ball. She worked for the ball. And that's something that I feel like she should do every day because she's capable. So I've thought all year long she was a big key for us because she can score. And Kelsey can put the ball in the hole, and so we need her to shoot. We need her to get the ball.
Also, I wanted to ask you, if you could describe the goals you had for this team at the beginning of the year, number 2 in the country, beating top 10 teams, and if those goals have changed at all now that you've suffered these personnel losses and so much of a problem with injury.
Yeah, I think the only goal that's changed is that we have to be realistic about the fact that we're not going to win the conference title. I mean, that's not a realistic goal right now based on the standings and what we have left. And it would take something monumental on a few parts. But you can stop right there, and the rest of them that we've set are in reach. We talk about winning 20 games. We talk about getting the NCAAs. I do think that we looked like a team today that was ready to move forward, and I made the comment a few times that I thought it was hard for this team to regroup from the injuries and from, in particular, the loss of NECA. And I think that this was the first game that I saw us play where we looked like we were ready to move forward. And that sometimes is a struggle for a team, and I saw that in our team today, so I'm encouraged about what we have left.
What did Amani's foul trouble, how that shape your game plan?
I have to give Bree Taylor an enormous amount of credit. I don't know that, I mean, we may have been able to keep Nina off the boards a little bit better, but I sure don't question Bree's effort today at all. But Nina did hurt us down the stretch, obviously. So it may have been a factor that maybe Amani could have helped us from the rebounding perspective. She just couldn't get in the flow. She just couldn't get in a flow at all. And Bree was playing really well.
Kelsey, what do you think when Coach talked about your presence out there? Because a few weeks ago, you were struggling in the last couple games, more demanding. Have you made a mindset change, or what have you done?
Well, whenever I had those 4 or 5 games, however many was at the start of conference, I just had no confidence in my shot. I didn't have any confidence in really anything. And I think that my teammates and my coaches, they just pushed me. They told me that they believed that, I would start hitting shots. And I think that that was the reason. They were the reason that I got through that little span. And now, they're the reason that they're giving me good passes. They're hitting me when I'm open and when I'm calling for it, and I definitely couldn't have done any of that without their passes and their confidence in me.
Kelsey, this coach had mentioned a minute ago about this team moving forward after the loss of NECA. Is this kind of what we're seeing from you, that you're starting to understand and grab hold of what you know is going to be extra responsibility on you now that you and Amani don't have her down low to help out?
Definitely. I think that we're all finally starting to understand. I mean, it was obvious that Bree started to understand it as well, that without NECA, obviously no one person is going to be able to fill what she was, because she was an amazing player and an amazing part of this team. But we're all starting to realize that we all need to take on a little part of her role, and hopefully that will help fill the void.
Brady, is this one of those games where you look back and how do you lose this game? And you feel like you lost a great chance to win it?
I mean, yeah, but we can't look back and dwell on this. One thing about the Big 12 is each component, each game is a big opportunity, a big chance to move forward in the standings and things like that. So, I mean, it definitely hurts. I'm sure everyone on our team is very disappointed when you work so hard and just come up 2 points short. That hurts. But we can't look back on this. We can't dwell on it. We just got to take the film, learn from it, and just move forward with the positive things that we had this game.
Karen, you wonder how many bunnies y'all missed today?
Oh, I can't wait to go back and look at the film. I really can't, because they definitely would have given us a lift, no question. But again, can't fault their effort, most definitely. And I think they're, some of the ones we missed, I'm sure there was a lot of traffic. But you have to make those, most definitely. And, it was a little bit of that was the difference. I mean, although I thought they missed some chippies too. I mean, we both got to the foul line. I'm pleased with the fact that we haven't been getting to the foul line, and we made, I thought, some early adjustments. As the game started, we were tentative, and we talked about it in timeouts. Just we need to get to the foul line, we need to get to the bucket, and I thought we did a much better job of that today. We're a better offensive team when we can get to the foul line. But yeah, I'm anxious to look at the film because this is one of those games where you can really teach a lot, I think, because we were doing some really good things that you can look at and say, okay, if you had just done this a little bit better, you can move forward. I don't feel like I could take the last couple of games that we played and do a whole lot with, because I didn't think we had the sense of urgency that we needed and the connectedness, but I do think that we had something we can work with today.
Coach, talk about that.
And I understand that's not where we're supposed to be. I want to make that clear. But it's where we are.
Coach, talk about that. Expound on that sense of urgency that you saw to them toward the end of the game to finish like they did, to at least put you in a position to win.
I just thought, as Brady said, they stayed in it. And what's been a problem for this team, again, since the loss of NECA, is just their ability to not get down on themselves. You know, they were, when things started going wrong in the last few games, that you could see their sense of I don't want to say that it probably looks like they don't care, but I know as a coach they care. So they just were kind of looking at each other like, okay, who's going to do this? And they didn't have the confidence to even pick each other up. And I thought that they were able to kind of, I think we've finally been able to say, okay, we got to move on, and we need to all try to help each other and be encouraging and play together. And like Kelsey said, nobody's going to fill NECA's role by themselves, so they all need to chip in. And you can see this is the first time we've had, Brianna had 7 rebounds, Brady had 6 assists, Ariel had 6 rebounds. So I do think that, Kelsey had a double-double. So I think that there are people that are trying to step up and fill the void.
Kelsey, Coach says there's no moral victories in Texas. Is there any comfort or satisfaction for taking number 3 team in the country down to the last second, especially getting them playing well the last couple of games?
I think that obviously it was not the outcome that we wanted, but I think that it was, if we take one positive out of the game, is that the fact that we finally fought like a team and played like a team today. And I don't think that anyone could say that about any of our Big 12 losses. And this one, we can say that we did play as a team, and we did try to do what the coaches told us, and I feel like we haven't been doing that lately. So that's something that we can definitely build on.
Coach.
Brady, Kelsey's double level obviously speaks for itself, but this was just the second time this year that Baylor was out rebounded, and a lot of those rebounds came from the guards. You lost a lot of rebounding with NECA's leaving. Has there been like an express commitment on the part against guards that you've been part in that area?
Definitely. I mean, NECA was a rebounding beast, so we understood that not just one person could fill that void. So that's definitely something we talk about before practice, after games, before games, that the guards have to commit to rebounding and crashing. And we struggled with that after those first couple of games after NECA was out, because you were just so dependent on those. And so we weren't getting loose balls because we're used to NECA going to get them. NECA was there, she got every board almost, so it definitely took some getting used to, having to get in the mindset of it's all of our responsibility now. We can't just depend on one person. And so I think we're definitely learning how to cope with that and try and bring that every game. So, I definitely think we're getting better at it, but there's always more room for improvement.
Coach, if you could comment on the impact of your zone switches from zone to man, and then back.
Again, I thought the players did a terrific job of adjusting, because we haven't worked on much zone this year at all, and that was really a 2-day prep, pretty much. And it's been on my mind. We've worked on it periodically, probably I can count on at least one hand maybe how many days before we led up to this game. But I did think that with the loss of Nakia for a few weeks, that we needed to look at, ironically enough, trying to stay out of foul trouble, which Imani couldn't do. But I thought that it was something that we needed to start looking at in the future, and also just thinking about the minutes played with some of our players, I thought it might be an advantage for us, and they responded really well. I thought they communicated well. There were times that we gave up some offensive rebounds, so that's the thing I don't like about a zone, is that you have to find an area and you have to hunt people, and it's a little bit more difficult, but I thought it was pretty effective. I was pleased with the way we played it, no longer than we worked on it.
Coach, absent a total collapse, I don't think there's any question, but that Texas is going to be at the NCAA's, but seeding obviously makes an enormous difference.
Mm-hmm.
The NCAA claims that they don't look at score differentials in either selection or bracketing or seeding. Do you think they ought to be looking at the fact that you took the number 3 team in the country to 2 points this late in the season when they evaluate where you should be?
Gosh, I'm just thinking about today and what I need to do to get to Stillwater and help this team get a win, honestly. I think the committee does a great job, and I think the adjustments that we've made this year to the 16 seeds posting, I think is a good move for women's basketball right now. So I'll leave that up to the committee to figure out, but I think they do a great job.
Anything else? Thanks, John.
Thank you.
Thank you.